of the internet. This is the Uncanny Rider, and today we are out for a evening vlog. And here's a corner that we can take. Wham! That's a terrible way to take a corner, but who's complaining? Yeah, so today is a very normal and special vlog because we have a topic to talk about, and also because we have traffic. So I don't know how that makes it special. Whoa, bro, seriously. Okay, yeah, so today the topic that I got is how power, like horsepower and torque on a bike makes a difference. This auto, dude, is trying to mindfuck us. Bro, what the fuck? So, as we all know what power is, how more powerful a bike is, it's easier for that bike to accelerate hard. As I was saying, torque is what we will be talking about mainly. And what the fuck was wrong with those guys? Okay, so torque. How torque affects a bike. So there are, now to get more detailed into torque, to talk more about torque, I'd like to get into subcategory of motorcycles that provide different types of torques and shit like that. So to keep it straight and simple, I'd divide it into three main categories: cruiser bikes, super sport, and street fighters or naked bike. And for all my real bikers out there, you'd know there are many other categories that are there into bikes: adventure bikes, off-roaders, all those kind of bikes. But I'll keep it very straight and simple, so I'll just keep it three different categories. And those three different categories, as I mentioned previously, are again cruiser, super sport and naked bike. Okay, yeah, so starting off with super sport bikes. So what exactly are super sport bikes? So as the name says, super sport bikes are super sport. They have a lot of torque and they have a lot of power. They give out crazy horsepower, like too much power. Yeah, so now these super sport bikes have a lot of their power, but all of this power comes at the top end. You know, they have you need to really, you know, rev the shit out of the engine to get the power out, and all of the power, at least most of the power, is delivered out in high RPMs. And that high RPM, you know, all these sport bikes or super sport bikes have really high revving engine, and these bikes tend to go all the way up to what, 17,000, 15,000 RPM. And so that shows you how high revving these bikes are. Since these bikes have their power high in the rev range, they also have most of the torque up there. So they provide the most amount of acceleration and most amount of pull in those high RPMs. So once you achieve those high RPMs, once you reach those high RPMs, you will be able to get the maximum out of the bike. You'll get the performance out of that super sport bike. How street fighters or naked bikes are different from super sport bikes. You see, these bikes are also like they are a lot like, you know, those super sport bikes, but you know, they might share the same tire, they might share the same chassis, they might share the same engine, but the difference is the power commander or the ECU, and they have different tuning altogether. So they provide a lot more mid-range. They have a lot of power in the mid RPM range. So they are also torque crazy. They have a lot of torque, you know. It's easier to wheelie on a naked bike than on a liter. I don't know, I'm saying that in comparison to the R1 video. Like if you compare the R1 to the MT-01 or MT-01, right? So the naked version of R1, you'd see they both share the same engine. Yeah, so they both share the same engine, but the way they are set up, the way they give out their performance, the way they, you know, react to the throttle input is completely different. Now, what are cruiser bikes? As the name suggests, they are meant for cruising, and they can cover up a long distance without giving any sort of stress to the engine. They are meant for long distance riding. They have completely different setup. Their chassis is very, very different from all these other sport bikes and street fighters. So these cruisers also, like their drive shaft and all, would be completely different. Most of them have a belt drive, and some even have shaft drive. So these engines, in terms of torque and horsepower figures, are completely different from sport bikes and street fighters. And they might give out less. Yeah, they give out less power, like horsepower, but they have a lot of torque. And the torque in those bikes is in the low end. Getting back to the topic, I think I've discussed most of it. So I'll just conclude by saying, I'll just summarize by saying that cruiser bikes don't have a lot of horsepower, but they have a lot more torque in low RPMs. Street bikes or naked bikes have good amount of torque, but all of it is in the mid range. So coming back to super sport bikes, they have good amount of torque, and they have a lot of horsepower, and all of it is at the top end. So they have a lot more. Can you stop spitting, you fucking douchebag? So they have a lot more pull high up in the rev range. So I think I've covered up the topic. I hope I did. And if you like the video, please hit the like button down there, because why the fuck not? Cool people do it. You are cool, please do it. Yeah, thanks, bye. And if you have any other topics that you'd like me to discuss, please write down in the comment section below, so I can discuss them. What is wrong with you? दिखता नहीं क्या भोसड़ी के?